Hi there, Aquarius. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and we're looking at January 30 through February 5. And there are two events happening this week, both of which need careful handling. The first is a tricky sign change for Venus, the goddess of love, and the second is a backward movement for Jupiter, the planet of opportunity. On Friday, February 3, Venus leaves compatible Pisces and moves into Aries, which is warrior country for Venus, and naturally not the type of place where the goddess of love can go and relax. The tricky part is that Venus is on schedule to go out of phase in March, meaning that it will be crisscrossing over this uncomfortable Aries hardscape until June. Although this is not good news for relationships and finances, it does give you a nice chunk of time to sharpen your skills in those areas. Now, Aquarius, for you, Venus is going into your third house of communication, siblings, neighbors, and short trips, along with Mars, the planet of passion, for the month of February. So if you've been thinking of grabbing your girl or your guy and just going somewhere for a long weekend, this is the time you'll have the motivation and the energy to do it, because sometimes going away for 2 or 3 nights, it seems to be more work than going away for 2 weeks. You don't know what to pack. You got to get there. If your flight's delayed, all hell's let loose, yada, yada, yada. However, it's important that you take advantage of this burst of energy. And if you haven't seen a sibling in a while, if you haven't seen someone that you used to, live nearby, or a roommate that you've been missing, you're really going to feel the need to see that person. And this is a good time for you to make those bookings and jump right into it. Now, the tricky part is that Venus is on schedule to go out of phase in March, meaning, as I said, that this month is the only month that you can really afford to do that. And come May, when Venus is forward again, will be another time. So really focus on what weekends you can get out of town. Of course, Valentine's Day, all those sorts of things, good times to plan an escape. On Sunday, February 5, Jupiter, which of course has been in Libra since October of last year, goes out of phase in your ninth house of overseas travel, higher education, and philosophy, and it goes out of phase for 4 months. Jupiter is the planet of philosophy, and its retrograde is a chance for you to review, rethink, and rebuild your moral, ethical, and religious views over the next 4 months. It could also be a time when overseas travel is restricted in some way. So I've been telling other signs. If your passport is pretty much done, say you've got, 8 months left and you're planning a trip, a lot of countries now, due to security reasons, are not letting people in if they have, less than a year, less than 6 months on their passport, because passports now are, 10 years. So it's really important that if you are going on a quick trip somewhere and you're going overseas, even if you're going from like California to Mexico, which is 2 hours or something like that, and you still have to have your passport. So really make sure that you have everything organized. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again next week.